Howdy, 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 and welcome to another episode of the DirtInfo podcast. Hey, Carter, where were you?
Uh, I was a lot of places. I was in North Dakota, Minnesota. I guess only two
Yeah,
places.
you weren't here though.
I was
I
not
had to
here.
do this whole thing. I had to do this whole thing without you. It was a train wreck. Anyway, well, welcome back. If everyone could, as always, hit the like, subscribe, either or both. We're not picky. Any and all helps. Much appreciated, and thank you. But with that, we're going to go ahead and jump into our first segment. And
It's called Stylin and Profile.
Carter,
Want me to start? Uh,
yeah,
Well, I got a few shirts over the weekend, but I'm only going to show two of them for now, or over the 2 weeks, I guess. First one is the John Seitz Memorial Event shirt that you talked about last week,
yeah.
and then other
Dig
one
the
is
shirt too.
is the Wissota 100 sweatshirt. There we go.
Right on. Vikings colors.
I always associate these colors with IMCA, honestly, because all their like crew, like the IMCA shirts, are always purple, yellow, and white. So when I saw that, I just assumed IMCA, even though the IMCA logo is red.
Yeah, that's Vikings colors, which
It
makes
is
sense
it is
for
Vikings colors too.
yeah.
It's
But
Speedway Motors colors, which is why IMCA stuff was that color too. At least when I was younger. I
that
don't even
makes
know if it
sense.
still is, but when I was
It
younger,
is.
all of them were white, purple, and yellow because Speedway Motors,
Yeah. No, and it's also the Speedway Motors 100 or
yeah,
Wissota 100 too.
main
So that makes
sponsor
sense.
for it.
Yeah. Right on. Right on. Well, I'm wearing something I picked up at the 100 too, so this is a TPO shirt. I've been wanting this one since I saw him post about it way back at the beginning of the season. Um, it's duck hunt themed, so it's got the 8-bit thing going on. And at this point, everyone should just know I'm a sucker, I guess, for anything even mildly throwback. So this reminded me of my childhood. I remember getting my first Nintendo and playing the heck out of Duck Hunt. So I'm a big fan of it. And it's hunting colors as we head into hunting season, so that works out too. But but yeah. Anyway, so Carter, you were gone for quite a bit, so fill us in where I caught you off guard at the beginning, but where all have you been the last couple of weeks? Fill us in.
Well, obviously I was at River Cities for the sites. First day rained out. I won't go too much into it because you kind of covered it last week. But first day rained out. Friday, Saturday they raced. I do want to mention Friday. Oh, I forgot his name. Is it Bryce Schwartz or something like that? Number six modified. He won Friday. And the other number six modified, Joseph Thomas, was leading that feature, and I learned he ran out of gas on the last lap, and that's why. Because for so while I was there, I was doing infield cam, and I'm in 3 and 4, and they have a bunch of stuff in the infield, so I really can't see 1 and 2 at all. So like all of a sudden, 1 6 car's leading, going down the front straightaway, and then by the time he comes back, they come back around, a different 6 car's leading, and the other one is like coasting. So uh, yeah, that was very confusing from
Yeah.
my angle. And there was a bunch of like Cole Schill and Peterson got together. Schill went off the track. Had no idea that happened from where I was standing until the next day when I watched the highlights. Um, but yeah, it was. I would like to go there again, honestly, and just like watch the race, like to actually see the whole track, see how it races. But 3 and 4 was pretty good. I don't know how 1 and 2 was, but 3 and 4 had some great racing over there.
From, from what you've seen, at least half the track's a banger. I'm not sure about the other half. Yeah, it's Bryce Sword, by the way.
Sword,
So
yes, there it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but right on. Um, yeah, and then so you were at the 100 for
Well,
the
for that, I was
whole.
at
Oh, God.
Madison Sunday
Oh, that's
for
right. Yeah.
their fair race. I just wasn't doing anything, so they said, "You want to come with?" And I came with and ran the camera, and it was an interesting place. Me and you both thought it was a bull ring. Turns out it's like a 3/8 mile. I don't know why we both thought it was a bull ring, but it's not a bull ring.
It's
Um,
not. All right.
and yeah, I don't. It was they had like 60 cars. There wasn't a ton of cars, but it was a new track, so it was cool to see a different place. But then yeah, then after that was the 100. I got there
Yeah.
Monday to set up
Yeah.
camera stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
You were there all week. By the
yeah,
time I got to see you on Saturday, you looked a little weary.
yeah, I was there. I was at a racetrack every day from 2 Thursdays ago to Saturday. Like there was no point where I wasn't. 'Cause even when they rained out at River Cities, I was at the track bringing stuff up there, and then Monday I was setting stuff up, which I'm not
Yeah.
complaining. I was happy being at a racetrack every day.
There's a lot worse places to be, I can promise you that. Yeah, I hear you. My big thing is I was thinking just being that far away from my bed. I think that would be the one only like real downer about a race, like kind of a racecation like you did would be like by about day 4, I'd just kind of be like, I want my bed.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only thing. But I was never really
Yeah,
homesick or anything. But
yeah.
I did a Sunday when I was coming home this past yesterday for us right now. I was planning to leave at 6 a.m. to get home at like an early time, and then we got back to the hotel at like 2, I think it was, or something. And then I slept straight through my alarm and I woke up and it was 10 a.m. So I didn't get home till 5 p.m. So I
Okay.
don't like getting home late after like a trip. I like getting home early and still having the day to do stuff, but oh well,
Yeah.
I got to my bed eventually.
Yeah, I think that was your body telling you, hey, we need some sleep. Yeah, so right on. Yeah. Well, so we did catch up on Saturday. I too went to the Wissota 100. And so Saturday was the finale, I guess. You watched all the warm-ups and I came for the big show. But that was definitely pretty fun. So I didn't get there right when gates open. So the one time you and I are going to be at the same place, I don't get there before gates open. What but,
You got there
but
still 2 hours early though.
2 hours
Two
early. Yeah, I
hour and a
know.
half-ish around there.
Yeah, I was cutting it close for my liking. I wanted to get a solid pit walk in, and it turns out we definitely did. So that was kind of cool. So got there. Sherry and I stopped for coffee on the way. I think it's called Central Grind. I just want to throw it out there because it's super good. Um, but it was like at the halfway point. But anyway, so we got there, met up with you right away. And you helped us from the from the skybox, if you will, helped us scope out the best available seating.
Yeah, that was the
That
best
was
one. All the other ones had blankets on them, so hopefully that was good.
yeah. Yeah, there's like unknown advantages when you're showing up with the camera guys on the roof. You can eyes spy all the spots you can't see. I was getting turn by turn directions through the front gate, guys. I'm promising you. He's like, keep coming in, go up there. Anyway, so and then we went and did a pit walk. So me, you, and Sherry did a pit walk. That was pretty fun, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I was there for what, half of it?
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer you
I
guys
mean,
walked around for.
didn't go much longer. The only thing that you missed is I was being a bit of an idiot and not paying as much attention as I should have, and I cut and cross of a side by side a little too close for comfort, and so I own that one. Of course, it was Brian Reedeman, the flag man for the Wissota Challenge Series. So I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm the idiot here. That was my bad. He's like, it's fine, it's fine. But anyway, that's all you missed once you left. So, um, but yeah, so we went in. I was trying to take a picture of Caden Blazer's car, and he happens to roll up and poses for a picture. That was a first for me. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's go for it. So we chatted with him for a minute. That was cool to talk to him. We got some of our questions answered about the Northern Lights and what he was running and all that. So he was giving her a go with the Wissota package. So we kind of hypothesized that, I think, on our episode. Back when we were talking about it a couple times. But anyway, we got stickers. We were able to get him stickers. We saw him go on the car. So, and you can attest too. I do really tell him you don't have to put him on the car. You can throw him away as soon as I walk away. So,
And he updated us too about
he
the
did.
stickers because he put it on both sides of the spoiler and it survived on the right side too, even with him running up against the wall.
Yeah, that's always a dangerous spot for it to be, but it's a good size for right there. So I think we left him with backups. So I'm learning. Well, and you saw me correct the mistake with Travis Sauer and his crew too. Um, I I had left just 2 stickers, and they warned me they might not make it. And like a dummy, I didn't leave extras. So we caught up with them, and I left him a stack. So we're covered there. But it was cool to talk to them guys. We did see it. It was sticker safe and sound on the mod still.
Oh, yep.
Yep. And then I think the highlight though was talking to Gerke. Don't
Oh,
you
yeah.
think?
We
Yeah.
learned about the disadvantages and advantages with at the big deal from Ogilvy and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Kind of just some interesting things that I mean, I didn't know all that. It was interesting to learn. So yeah, that was kind of cool. Kind of cool to just talk to him before he picked up the big win. I mean, we'll talk about it in a minute, but it was kind of nice to chat with him, and he took us to victory lane, right? That was on the spoiler side too. And so
We
I
got
thought you were
taken
gonna
to
say
victory.
something.
Oh no, I'll say we did get taken to victory lane by another car accidentally too. Our
Did,
stickers were found down there.
oh yeah. True. We're not sure how that happened. Someone took us up, right? I said, you don't have to, you can just, so maybe it was free advertising. I'll take it. So it was found in Victory Lane, I guess
It
I
was
must have missed that, but
in the infield because the infield camera guy sent me a photo of our picture just on the ground in the infield.
yeah,
So I don't know if it was in exactly victory lane or just
okay.
infield, but
Infield,
they were just down there, not taken like off the thing. Like they weren't
yep.
even stuck on anything. It was just two stickers down there.
Heck yeah. I'm gonna just call it as free advertising, right? Someone was like, I don't have no room, but maybe I can appreciate it. Thanks. That or we did hand some off while someone was away from the card. They may have just forgotten
I
them,
think
but
that's what
they were
happened. I
there.
think that was
Seems,
my guess on what happened there.
yeah, it's most likely the accounting. But
They went out for hot
anyway,
laps and away they went.
yeah, away they went. But still, it was kind of free advertising. I think one of them ended up on a laptop. Yeah,
Yep.
right on. So I think racing wise, actually, real quick, that was checking notes. Yeah. Oh, we stopped by the Phuquet's. I did want to mention that because that was kind of fun. Always fun to chat with Chad. We learned some stuff there too. So not a lot of this stuff is kind of not fit to share. So we know when to keep our big mouth shut, but we learned some interesting stuff there too. I was trying to convince him to get behind the wheel for some of these specials. So hopefully we'll see a Midwest mod or a mod with Chad Fouquet behind the wheel. Because he's Devin's main pick guy, or I think probably the only one for some of these races, and so he put all of his stuff into getting Devin the rookie of the year and running the full challenge series this season. So, but now that's wrapped up. I'm rooting to see him behind the wheel. So, right on. But after that point, you kind of boogied. I took a couple more pictures, and I almost got run over by a side by side because I'm an idiot, and it wasn't that close, but I should have been more aware. See, so no matter how much you do it, sometimes mistakes happen, but I owned my crap and I kept it moving. And he was he was paying attention and very respectful, so I appreciated that. But then so the racing was solid. I think some of the races were better than others. The street stocks, the street stocks, Gullickson and Kyle Dykhoff came down to almost photo finish. I think it ended up being like 0.14 or something. So that was kind of cool. Although I don't know how closely you follow the race because you're not always
Yeah,
watching the
so like
leader.
the finish, I don't really see. I'm on like battle cam they call it, so I'm following like battles behind the leader.
Yeah,
So yeah, and like even at the end of a race, I'll just kind of point it in the corner in case some guy decides to junk his car on the last lap coming out of 4, and then we have a shot of it. So
have a
yeah,
shot of it.
I didn't even see the finish.
Yeah. Yeah. So that finish was really good. So everyone was on their feet for that one. That's one of those moments when I always like those at a racetrack, especially because the crowd was so big, right? Like that place filled up pretty dang good. They had them all around. Were they all around like throughout the week too? Like on the hill on the right side of the
Yeah,
grandstands and
that was
everything?
like the tailgating section, but like people like I think like reserved that early on. They
Yeah,
were there the whole time, but the grandstands were
they
not
were.
full
Okay.
like that at all during the
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. Even the backstretch grandstands were way more full this year than I remember them being last year too. So they're definitely working on filling it up. But um so that was the street stocks feature. The Midwest mod feature, um I was rooting my tail off. I'm not gonna lie. So I stopped by the Racers merch trailer, and Trantino was in there, and so I picked up his door panel and I made him sign it. So it is signed. It's hard to see because we only had a black marker and it's primarily a black door, but I did make him sign it, and so I was rooting for him. Like, I mean, obviously, I mentioned his track and stuff like that. So a bit of a fan of James, and I was rooting like crazy for him to win. It wasn't to be, but he gave her hell. I'll tell you that he squeezed every ounce of speed he could out of that car. So that was pretty cool to watch. Nick Kohler kind of just waited in the wings for the lead to kind of shuffle itself out, and about midway, I think he took the lead and fended off Trentino, but he went on to win pretty smoothly. And then the late models, Chad Becker just kind of kicked everyone's butt. That
Yeah,
was my takeaway.
pretty much.
Yeah, he just kind of laid the smack down. I think that was his fourth one.
Yep.
So fourth Wissota
Who took
100.
second? There was somebody that was like there but not there. Was it Searing?
Searing, yeah,
Yeah,
Searing
he was
was
like there but never there like enough to actually challenge him. Like so when they got to traffic, it was like maybe it's like nope, never mind. Nope, he's not getting
yeah.
there.
Yeah, he could close in traffic, and then every restart, like Becker would pull away,
Yeah,
and if they got to traffic again, he could kind of tighten it up. But I mean, Searing was definitely faster than everybody else, just not Becker.
yeah,
It was one of those things where he's definitely the second place car, I thought for sure. Um, and then the Super Stocks was a highly entertaining feature, kind of in a technical way. We had two old war horses, as I was kind of thinking of it in my head. Kurt Myers and Shane Sabraski were kind of playing a game of cat and mouse for most of the feature. Again, you're stuck watching the
yeah.
back,
I'll tell
so
you from
you
battle cam position, that was a absolute stinker of a race. That was so boring behind them too. There was not much
really,
going on. Yeah.
yeah, you should have asked to switch cams for that
Well, I did see the
one.
end of it because we have radios and it was like we're just gonna stay
Yeah,
on this for the last two laps. So I just kind of I was moving the camera, but I knew they weren't really switching to me, so I was just kind of watching the race and
yeah,
sort of looking at the camera.
yeah. Yeah, so I can't perfect recall when it happened, but it was cool to watch because Kurt Myers was leading most of the race, and Shane Sabraski was probably faster for a good majority of the race, but he couldn't get around him. So it was just really cool, and they weren't. You're so used to just beating and banging, but like Myers was shutting the door every time down the backstretch, and Shane would check up and try to get underneath him, or check up enough to stay behind him and try to run the top line. But it was cool to watch them just jockey for position. Ultimately, Sabraski got him on a restart. I think Myers maybe used his stuff up or was had a tire going down or something. Because I remember watching the move. Sabraski was setting him up to diamond off of him, and he got to about the point where he was gonna diamond, and he's like, "I'm just faster than this guy," and then he just stayed in it around him and went around him. It was,
There was a
it was,
there was a point too. So Myers was running the bottom, and in one and two, I don't know if you saw it, but I got it on camera. One of the cars in like I don't know fifth or something flipped the infield tire in the middle of like one and two, and it pushed out a bit. And I think that actually like hurt Myers because he was running the bottom, so now he had to go around that. And
yeah,
so it actually, I think it helped. I think Sabraski even mentioned
yeah.
it in Victory
Yeah, I
Lane.
was gonna say now that you say that, yeah, he did mention it that once that happened, it kind of messed up his line.
Yeah,
Because
his line
then
got kind of messed up because the tire got pushed out a
yep,
bit right where he was
yep,
running. So yeah, because I remember seeing it happen, and I thought they were going to throw a caution for it, but it didn't go out that much, just enough to kind of screw up if you're running the very bottom.
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, hearing it now, if it doesn't like go all the way into the racing surface and it is a movable object and a car is able to hit it and keep moving, I think you just kind of leave it, don't you? Like
Yeah, honestly,
that's one of the
I
cool things that makes dirt racing is a variable surface. I don't,
it was one of the because I think they have like two different size tires, if I remember right, and the one that got hit out was like a smaller one, and I think I wish Myers tried to it would have been cool if he tried to push it in
like
with his
nudge
own
it
car.
in.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
guys will do that like in especially in like stock cars in my areas, they'll like clip the tires and if it's especially if it's bottom dominant and get it lower and lower, and they're almost in the infield sometimes if they hit it just right.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. No, that's a good point. I guess I didn't pick up on it much, but that makes sense given how the dynamic of the race kind of changed in
Yeah,
that way too. And then I think that was the second race because the street stocks did this too, where they had a caution on the last lap and they just do a 1 lap
yeah,
dash.
they were doing that all week. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
strange. I don't know. It messed us up sometimes from the camera side because we're like expecting green,
Two
white,
laps.
checkered, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
checkered flag. It's oh, geez, we're not ready
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Well, in the street stocks, that's what created kind of that finish is Dykhoff just let her eat the whole way around for a whole lap. Um, and then in the street stocks, that really changed up the podium because they just had a 1 lap dash and Sabraski had, I think, gotten the lead at that point, but Myers went from second to like fourth or fifth
Fifth,
in
yeah, I
one
think
lap. Yeah.
it was funny because
Yeah.
we were talking over the radio that um Myers' kid ended up passing him, and I was like, oh, his kid
Yep.
hurt him for national points because Myers is running.
Yeah.
I think he's leading national points with him and Sabraski, and now he got passed by his kid at the end too. So there's another spot from his
Yeah.
kid passed him is hurting his national points chances.
Yeah. Imagine. No. Yeah, I think it was something like there was a 7 point difference or they were
Yeah, it
talking
was
about it
really
at one
close.
point.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So, but yeah, I thought that was an entertaining feature. The one that really I think was the nightcap and probably at least for me, I thought it was the best feature was the mods. The mods really I thought put kind of down a banger. Gurkey won, which was totally cool. I mean, just separate and apart from us having a sticker on his car and talking to him, like it's cool to see him pick up one of those the big a crown jewel event sort of so early in his career. He's pretty young. He's been racing for a while, but he's a pretty young cat, all things considered. So, um, but yeah, he that was I'm wearing the hat, but he had to run everywhere. But at one point he was running the cushion so hard, I was like, "Get down!"
The cushion
I
there
mean,
is sketchy. Like all week, like
it
there's
is
guys like I didn't
sketchy.
you never really I guess I just never noticed it watching on streaming until I was there, but like and I don't know if you've like looked ever like where they pull onto the track on four. It's like so most tracks it's like flat there where they come down, like it's like they have like a built-in cushion. Like it's like looks sketchy just getting onto the track. Like I'm like, how are late models not just ripping? Because it's like steep, like a steep drop down. It's like a built-in cushion where usually like even Fairbury, like they go to that part where they pull on the track and the cushion kind of goes away because the cars are constantly pulling on. There, the cushion is still there at 994 because how like
Huh.
it's built. Yeah, it's you don't really realize it until you're down there like, holy crap, that is
Yeah,
a drop from get
yeah.
on the track.
And to be clear, what I think most everyone knows, but just for my own relief, what I mean by sketchy is just a very technical and hard
Oh
cushion
yeah,
to run. It
that
is,
it
yeah,
is they're right
yeah,
against the wall too. It wasn't like
yeah.
a few feet away. It's like if you mess it up, you're in the fence.
Turn two is wild. Like it
Yeah,
has like this little kick out. I don't know if they get up on it, but like if you hit it just right, like the car looks like the right rear kicks out, and then
totally
the dudes
sideways.
just go boom, just like they get up there and they just like it's just like this little bump, and they just cruise down there. Um, at one point I thought maybe that Trantina had used up the right rear up there. I was worried about Gurkey doing the same. Like they do it, they just get up there and it just juts just a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe but
No,
yeah,
I know
and it carries a
it's
ton of speed out of it too.
it does the same in four kind of not as much as
Okay.
two, but it's similar in four. It's like the same way, like same thing. I know Chamba though, they like get into it, and it's like the cushion just disappears, and they just slide
Yeah.
up a bit every time.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like it was cool to watch, and that I would say by the mod feature that the track was primo. I mean, they were everywhere. They were running everywhere. Shane was harassing Gerke the whole way through. I think Joey Thomas or Joseph Thomas had the lead for a bit, and Gerke had to work around him. Dolman had it before him. For Brandon Dolman even led like the first handful of laps, 5-10 laps, I think too. So lots of comers and goers. I thought it was a good feature, and it was cool to see Gerke win. So all in all, I left pretty happy. The 3 wide starts I think are cool.
I
So
don't hate 3 wide starts. I just hate how they do the 3 wide start. Like they don't start like a normal start. They start like
I
at the flag
agree.
stand pretty much.
They
Then
do.
they
They
hit
like
the gas. So it looks
yeah.
like an enduro race.
I always thought it was like because if they botch the thing, they're going 2 wide. That is kind of their rule.
hmm
If you botch the 3
That's
wide
what
start,
all of them pretty much do. Yeah,
okay, yeah. So
but
I
yeah,
always figured that just gave them the best chance of not botching it.
it's
You
pretty much to
know?
prevent like them wrecking. But I don't know. I just seen
Yeah,
like Boone do 3 wide in other places, and I think it's way cooler when they're doing it like a normal start where they
like
start
a
like
normal
in
restart, just
4.
out of
Yeah,
3. Yeah. Yeah, out of 3 and 4. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I agree. I like this one because it's like the event. It's the big capping event, and doing it maybe slightly different than everyone else does it is its own kind of like tradition. So I respect it for that, but like purely,
it's
I
just
would agree
weird
with you. It's a
looking.
little wilder to see them start 3 wide
Yeah.
out of 4. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I like the pageantry of this. They do the whole there anyway. So I dug the 3 wide starts. Got plenty of fireworks. That always makes me happy. All in all, just a pretty cool event. The parade. I did like I know that this is probably you. If I know Carter, he's like British Champions was not my jam, but I do like the changes they made to it, doing it the beginning of the show instead of the end.
Oh, they did that
And just
after all the races?
They did it. I don't remember exactly how they did it, but they didn't do it there. They did it like the midpoint of the show
That's what they
last year.
did.
I don't
That's what they
remember.
did this weekend. They did it after the B mains, before the features.
Yeah, but that was also at like 6:30 though. I'm
Oh
talking they
yeah.
did it when it was dark. We were
Oh,
well in. Yeah, I don't remember it. I just know that they tweaked it. And they did just the feature cars this time instead of all of the cars. I believe last year and previous years it was just everyone who was there, which I like for its own purposes, but we got to keep this thing moving a little bit.
it did take a while. Like the
Yeah,
last B main was done at like 6 o'clock, and the first feature came on track at like
yeah,
8. So it was like a 2 hour. I
yeah,
could do without that. If we can limit it to an hour, that'd be ideal. It was
yeah.
like a 2 hour
I
thing.
I usually give you crap about that, but I agree. Maybe we could have just a little bit quicker. But also, I know why they did it, and part of it was is the B mains were a little cleaner than everyone expected. That's a start. And two, they didn't want to have a feature start and finish with the sun up. I wouldn't. Not at your capping event. I don't know. There's just something about it. We're here for night racing. There's something more
They
dramatic.
should just start the show at
You're
6.
under the
Started
lights.
at 6, and
Could
then
have.
you could just yeah, and
Yeah,
then
they're
do
they're
do the
they're
thing shorter.
accounting for some stuff. It's 15 laps, 15 minutes for a reason, Carter. On these
Is it
B
15
mains,
minutes? Because nothing
Yeah,
else
it's
was
15.
timed. Oh, is it?
It was
Okay.
15 laps, 15 minutes. Yeah, we
I
didn't even
wish
get to them though. They were
I
pretty
wish they used
snappy.
that time on some of those the qualifying features. The
20
super
laps,
stocks
20
were rough.
minutes.
There was no they were 15 laps for the qualifying features besides the
Oh,
late
really?
models, and some of
Okay.
those were rough. Like the super stocks all weekend they were struggling.
They
They
were
were the class to
struggling.
crash, not the B mods like normal. It was the super stocks.
I'm trying to remember. It was definitely the B mods on Saturday
Oh yeah,
though.
Saturday it was the B mods.
The B mods
They
for
were
sure.
crashing a lot.
Yeah, I was a war of attrition. Trantina finished second, and his door was caved for like half the
Yep.
feature.
I think that
Yeah,
was from that restart where they all like
yeah,
piled up.
yeah, yeah. Someone got turned into a pinball. I remember that. Yeah, but all in all, it was pretty cool. I think the last thing I want to mention, and partly it's because you're on it, and it's worth a shout out. But the media coverage just across the board was lights out for this thing. You guys on the broadcast, your crash cam work was solid. I heard you brag about a couple different cool shots that you got, so you were on it. I mean, you deserve credit for the job you were asked to do and crushing that. You're the I'm gonna shameless plug you, but you caught cop on the wall.
I
So
got the cop crash.
that is, if everyone sees the cop footage, that's
Well,
Carter.
not
That's
not
Carter
the
working the
infield
camera.
version, but the broadcast
Not the
one.
infield, yeah, the broadcast version. Yeah, the infield one is, yeah. That's the other Carter. And he
It
nailed
is,
that too.
yes.
Yeah, and he nailed that too. Oh, and he got a really cool shot of you. I thought that
Oh,
one
on the
made me
roof.
smile like crazy. Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
There was a few
So
from setup day too. Me
yep.
taping a microphone to the flag stand, and then another one when we were setting up the pre-race show stuff, and I was doing absolutely nothing in that photo. I was taking a drink of water, just watching.
But it made it look like you were working so hard. Right on. Yeah, so between that and then Carter or Ace Media, Carter Ace Strike, he crushes everything he does, but he was crushing it. And then I think they had Tim and JC taking photos, and I think they had Nick Anderson or Fastlane Motorsports as well, and I think AOK Photography. Anyway, the point I'm just trying to make is that these guys were working their tail off. They were pumping content out all weekend, and it just adds to all the cool stuff we were talking about. So I want to shout it out. Congratulations to the whole crew. Congratulations to you, Carter. You guys crushed it. So underrated aspect of these shows is that they turn that volume to 11. It by the time Saturday gets here, I'm itching to get my 2.5 hour drive out of the way and get to the track. So I dig it. I dig it. So good job for that. But anyway, as you can imagine, with Carter being gone from his home for a week and a half and and me being out racing, we didn't watch a ton of stuff. So we'll run through some results real quick. I think outside of watching the Wissota 100 here and there, I did pick up. I watched part of the USMTS shows on Thursday, Friday. My biggest takeaway from the USMTS shows was that tour is more fun when Tyler Wolf is around. Like seriously, he adds something to it for sure. So, but he picked up 2 out of the 3 wins. So he won Thursday, and then he won the 20,000 to win red, white, and blue nationals on Saturday. Tyler Wolf did, and then in between, Tanner Mullins picked up a dub. So cool little show they had going there. They had a rap contest, and 2 guys participated, which is it's cool that at least 2 guys participated, and the raps are really good. Did you see Mullins rap by chance?
No,
I know
I
you've been
saw
very busy, so
literally nothing.
yeah. It almost doesn't feel like a Tanner Mullins rap because there's no pink. It's red, white, and blue.
I assume it's on his
But
Facebook.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
I
look
thought
it
that
up.
one looked good. And then Jim Chisholm did a pretty solid job with his remembrance rap as well too. So worth pointing that out. I like that they
Oh
try to do
yeah,
that stuff. It's a bummer that only 2 guys participated though.
I see Mullins
But
rap.
yeah.
That does not look like Mullins at all.
Right? It's a little bit it throws you for a curve. So um and then we had other than that, or outside of the modified world, I'm struggling here, Carter. We had Flow Racing. Jonathan Davenport won 20,000 at Volunteer, and then the Outlaws were in Georgia, and Nick Hoffman picked up a win at Needmore, and then Winger. That's kind of a cool win. Winger picked up a win at Sonoya, 15
It's like
grand.
home track
So,
too, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I think he's got a mustache now. I got here and there. I was scrolling Facebook. He's got a mustache now. I guess he like won, went fast time or something, and so they took a picture and the Outlaws posted it, and he reposted it, and he's like, I thought about smiling, but the stash said no. And then he almost fell something about he almost fell off the car when he won. He smashed some beers and went up and like tipped off of it. And he's something about the stash saved me, or I don't know. But anyway, he's out here making jokes about his mustache and winning races. So that's the Ashton Winger we all like to see, having fun and being goofy. So good for that. And then we've been talking about Mars. I saw a little bit of chatter that the races at Davenport might have been a banger, and I suspected they would be because everything there. I love that track. I only catch it here and there, but it's just it is the flat and wide theory. That's the originating track from my flat and wide theory is that racetrack. I swear they can go like 7 wide sometimes,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's a
very
quarter
wide.
mile. Yeah, and it's a quarter mile. I don't know from where, but it's a quarter mile. So it's a cool track. But Fager swept they had 2 shows at Davenport. Fager swept both of those, and then on Sunday they went to Quincy's and Tony Jackson Jr. won there. And then I guess while speaking about late models real quick, when we missed this with the Wissota one, but the Challenge Series did wrap up, and unfortunately it was not as close as we had maybe hoped. That Tuesday feature, Moss outpaced Sabraski
Yeah.
by like 10 spots, and that was kind of the end of it. So Dave Moss is your champion. And then they do a drawing for like all of the series regulars. Someone wins a vacation afterwards, and Dave Moss got selected for that, so he won the vacation on top
He
of
selected
the
himself
points title and all of that.
because he
Oh,
was
he
the one.
selected
He was
himself. I
the
missed
one
that
that
part.
like got to just draw out of the hat or whatever, and it was himself.
Yep. Yep. I was like half paying attention. I heard it over the thing, but some lady next to me is like, "Oh, he's more happy about that than he was about the other stuff." Right on. I'd probably be pretty happy about a vacation
Yeah.
too. Long season to win a championship, you earned yourself a vacation. So that mostly is what I was following, which will lead us into what are you doing this weekend, Carter?
I'm not leaving the state this weekend. I'm going to Beaver Dam Friday, so they have their last ever weekend race, I guess. Oh, Baker Mayfield just fumbled. My fantasy quarterback. Anyways, um,
Shambles, teams in shambles.
oh, and Bucky Irvin served. It's all going down. Anyways,
We're going to hell in a handbasket.
oh no, Rashad White. No, I want to see an injury, but at least it's not Bucky. But yes, Beaver Dam has so they have their fall classic Friday, Saturday, and it's their last ever race, assuming nothing changes over the off season. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Um, so I'll be there Friday, just watching, and then Saturday I got to go to Plymouth for the last Dirt Kings race of the year, which that one I'm kind of excited for because they're running a bunch of classes that you don't normally see at Plymouth: mods, street stocks, 4 cylinders, and then the wingless sprint cars, and then late models, obviously. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, but it'll be cool to get to Beaver Dam one more time as well. And they have 4 cylinders there, which I've never seen. They've ran 4 cylinders, but I've never seen them there. So curious how that'll go.
Yeah.
Hopefully they tried it a couple of years ago and they get like 5 of them, and that was the end of that. But I'm thinking with it being their last ever race weekend, they'll probably get a good amount of them. I'm honestly I'm curious what their car count's going to be for their last ever race. Like it could be like 300 cars.
I could see it being a ton, right? Like not going to have another chance to do it. So
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah. Um I was giggling. You're talking. You almost sounds like you're most excited about 4 cylinders at both places
Yeah, I
you're
am
going,
because
and I'm like,
I've seen 4 cylinders at neither of them.
and I'm just thinking to myself, well, like we, you and I have tried to talk mostly mods and late models as that's what we follow a lot, right? Like across sanctions and stuff. But we really do talk about Hornets or 4 cylinders or whatever you want to call it in your sanction. We definitely I blame you for me being as interested in it. You were the one who used to give me a hard time. But now, yeah, that's sometimes some of the best shows you're
Exactly.
gonna get tonight.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't care about speed, which some people do, but I don't, then they can be a good race. If you don't want to
yeah.
see them go 100 miles per hour, they might be going 60, but they're 4 wide, so I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, racing's racing, right? Like if it's close, good racing, it doesn't often matter quite how fast they're going, as long as they're jockeying for position and they are it's pretty boring to watch them all just go 1, 2, 3, 4 and never change positions. But if they're always jockeying and moving around and
Exactly.
stuff,
Yeah.
it's good racing regardless of speed, right? So yeah.
And
I'm right there with you.
sometimes they just get wild, and that's also entertaining.
There's
They're
also I was gonna say racing is a form of entertainment. It can come in a couple different varieties. One is good racing. There are other varieties of calamity that can happen on the track that are also entertaining. A show is a show, and it can look different kind of ways. So, anyway, but yeah, well, I would like to go racing, and I've looked at a couple different places to go racing, but it's looking like a complete washout in my area, truthfully. So, if I do at this point, if I do go, because I'm not going to make a ton of plans. If I do go, I'm going to likely just head up to Granite City for their season end of season special, the Piston Cup, and they've got what do they got? It's an interesting mix, and it's enough to make me think it might be a historic event as well. But so they have mods for 2,000 both nights, 1,500 for super stocks both nights, 1,500 for Midwest mods both nights, and then streeters mod 4s, Hornets, and Crown Vics. But Sobraski ended the Wissota 100 too short of career win 1,000, and he runs a modified and a street super stock, and they're both running there, and that's his home track. And so I might, if they get it in, and he's there. There's no guarantee he's going to be there.
He could be a Thunder City too, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah, he could be a lot of places, right? But if he's there, I might catch myself making a jaunt just to maybe catch that 1,000th win. So
I will say last year he did go to this race. That's where he went this weekend. So if he continues that trend, he will be there.
Yeah, and I think I don't want to guarantee it, but I would be shocked if they get both nights in that he doesn't pick up career win 1,000 at one of those shows. He may very well just do it Friday and click off both the mod and the super stock dubs, and away we go. So
it could, maybe it'll rain out, and I can see it at Ashland next weekend. I assume he's going to go there with how much money's on the line.
I would assume so, between the mods and
everything.
You know that you might see me. I'm just telling you. Just be forewarned.
There's reserved seats, so I don't know how much are reserved and not reserved, but
I know a camera guy. I assume there's a jump position somewhere.
There's a spot in the infield for you, because that's probably where I'll be.
All right. Well, I'll pay for the wristband. I'll even post from the infield, guys. Get me one of them media bands.
All you need is a high-vis vest, and you can go anywhere.
I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it as we speak. I'm the size of a house in bright orange. I'm highly visible, I promise. Anyway, but I'll leave that. As we get closer, I'm getting more and more of the itch of like maybe just pull the trigger and do it and go to Ashland. But we'll cover that next week. I'm free. I don't. Shut up, Josh. We'll talk about it next week. Anyway, so I might head up there, and to our listeners, that is the hook for sure. Is if Shane goes there, you're gonna. We may not see this again. So if you want to be in person for it, you should be at Granite City. That's all I'm saying. If he's there, I don't know if he's going to be there. I have no inside information. Anyway, moving along. So that if I get washed out, and it sounds like you're keeping it slightly more low key, we might actually watch some racing this weekend. And the things on my radar are, well, I do want to mention just real quick, Mod War 100 was absolutely the thing I was most excited to watch. And that was going to be on Racing Dirt again, but unfortunately they did have to cancel that show due to some unfortunate circumstances with the track owner, I believe. So that's a bit of a bummer, mostly for the family of the track owner, right? Like, not a bummer that this event, just that health's not great and he's not doing good. So that stinks, but get it. But that was the one that I was most excited about. I think now I changed my attention to a place where you and I don't share the same opinion, but you and Jonathan Davenport do. And
no. I like it for sprint cars. Just don't think it's that good for late models.
Anyway, the real Knoxville Nationals is this weekend with Lucas Oil late models. And so they've got 10,000, 10,000, and 75,000 on Saturday. And then also on that Saturday, they have I don't know what the name of the show is. I didn't do that hard of research, but they have the Malvern Bank guys there too.
Invite
In
only.
invite capacity. Yep. And they're running for 4,900 on that Saturday too. So, did we check the weather for that place? I don't know. I saw something this morning. Ricky Thornton had mentioned that maybe the weather was going to be an issue. So something worth considering, as far as that show goes. But if they get it in, that Saturday should be pretty darn cool. And
It doesn't look amazing, especially Friday.
yeah. Okay.
Saturday looks good.
Maybe we'll just do it all on Saturday. I don't mind the late models on there. But I'm gonna hedge my bets and say I can't recall anything super cool happening there. I just remember it not being the worst. But
No,
maybe
I
I'll
don't think
check
it's the
back
worst, but it's not my favorite late model track. I'd much rather sprint cars there, but there's definitely worse late model tracks out there.
It's just huge and flat, and it's not super wide though for late models. Anyway, someone's probably gonna yell at us, but that's my opinion. Moving right along. Another thing that I'll be keeping an eye on, especially now that with Mod Wars unfortunately being canceled, the Heartland Modified Tour races this weekend, Friday Lakeside, Saturday 81, they may have just picked up some cars. Is my guess. So those fields might be a little bit bigger than they were going to be earlier today. But I'm keeping an eye on that one. Bobby Williams, as I've been mentioning for the last couple of weeks now, is like a true rookie in a modified, and he's still leading the series points. So I looked at it again. I'm not going to get like too in the weeds, but we've got 4 races left, and there's 5 guys within about 100 points, which what I've gathered is doable if things break just right. But anyway, and those 5 are going to be Bobby Williams, Brandon Givens, Wyatt Gajero, Shadron Turner, another rookie, and then Tad Davis. So if point battles are your thing, they got something brewing over there with 4 to go. So maybe something to keep your eye on. And then you alluded to it before, but I don't have a passport. I'm probably way too old to not have a passport. I should probably correct that, But if I did, I would be considering going to Thunder City. So they've got the Dirt Track Nationals up there. I think worth noting because they've got 5K mods both nights.
Yep. 2 full shows.
And then 2 full shows. And then did you catch this? So they have the Grand Slam bonus. And so they have like a bonus up for grabs for 3 of the divisions.
Or
no, so it's a little bit more than both. So you have to win both heats and both features. So
you have to win everything.
That's the Grand Slam. Yep. So if you win your heat, win your feature, 2 nights in a row, 10K bonus for the mods.
Oh, so you could technically walk out with 20 grand.
Yeah. And there's a couple guys who have a little bit of a chance to do this. This is Cole Chernosky's home track, so he's obviously very good there. Brandon Kopp has been going up there a bunch. We talked about it earlier this year. He reeled off like 3 wins in a row up there or something too. So he's also got a chance. I think I saw Jody Belfi go up there for this last year. Maybe Dave Kane as well.
I feel like I remember Dave Kane going up there.
Yeah. So definitely some hitters will be headed that way. And worth watching just with big purses. Individually, 5K for Wissota Modifieds is pretty big. I mean, the 100 was just 6.
Oh, was that how much it was? I didn't know. I only knew the late model payout.
Yeah. And what was that, 75?
That was 10.
Was that 10? That was 10. Okay. Yeah. So mods were 6. So, and this is 5 and 5. So who knows? May see an interesting field up there. And then that same deal also applies to super stocks and Midwest mods, but theirs is 5K.
So they'll walk out with, I don't know how much they pay to win. Probably a few grand for both.
3Ks for stocks both nights and 2,500 for Midwest mods. So you could work out 10 with the Midwest mod.
Over 10 for the super stocks. 11K, I think.
Yep. I mean, hard to do, but not like impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what I think piqued my interest is I could see that's not completely undoable,
Yeah, it's not
sometimes you see
it's
these
not like
big moments.
it's not like the Wild West Shootout one where you got to win like 8 races or whatever it is. Like it's 2 nights. We've seen sweeps happen before. I don't see the heat race
Yeah.
part makes it tougher. I feel like
Yep.
just features, you got more time. You got probably 8 or 10 laps for your heat race, and if you draw bad,
Yeah.
you're kind of screwed. But
Yeah. Yeah. I dig it though. It's definitely one of those could totally happen, but as just enough like degree of difficulty because of and they draw for heats, right? You're not qualifying in or
exactly.
something. So yeah, one bad pull, oh crap, I'm sitting 10th, you know. But anyway, so worth keeping it on. And then you had mentioned, I'll let you talk about it a little bit, but you had mentioned that one of your backup options is another special in Wissota area. So you
Yeah,
were
the Punky Manor at Red Cedar is this weekend, and so it used to be like Heats Friday, B Mains features Saturday, but they switched it to 2 full shows this year, which as a fan I like. I don't want to drive 3+ hours for B mains and features. So, and this year it's 2 full shows, and the late models are 5,000 and something to win. It's like it's a number
57.
50. I thought it was okay,
57. Yeah.
5,057 to win, and they usually draw a solid card count for that. So
Mhm.
it'd be worth going to if the other stuff rained out. And it's the closest Wissota track to me, 3 hours and 15. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on that. I'll probably watch it if I end up at home and I don't make it over there for some reason. If they race, I think weather over there looks kind of iffy, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely keep my eye on it through my race pass for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Right on. No, I didn't realize they're doing the 2 full shows thing too. So
Yep.
that's kind of cool. Right on. Well, I think that's everything that we had planned to talk about. This was the oddest part last time. I throwing it to yourself. That's just psychotic. But anyway, I think that means Carter, it's time for
The one for the road and mine this week. So 141 actually and Luxembourg both released their schedules today. But on 141s, there's one thing that stuck out to me, or that I liked. There was a few that I wasn't a huge fan of, but the one I liked was they have the World of Outlaw late models this upcoming year, and it's 12K to win Fridays, 25K Saturday. And they've had late models at 141 before, but I've seen them once last year, and they're always good there. As long as the track holds up, they're awesome there. So if that happens, if it holds up, I think it'll be sweet with Pierce and Hoffman and all them guys running around there. And I'm curious, so that weekend this year was that I-55 show in conjunction with the Hell Tour. And so now that show is at 141, but I'm curious if the Hell Tour is going to be a part of it. I kind of hope it is, because if not, that's going to really hurt our show because we're really close to Illinois, and I think we don't have a ton of late models. We have probably 30 late models max in our area. And I don't think they're all going to show up for the Outlaw show. So we're kind of going to rely on some of those Illinois guys to show up, like a Fager or an Unzicker, whoever. So
yeah.
I'm hoping either the Hell Tour, I doubt they'd be off. So I'm hoping they make their first trip to 141. It wasn't on the schedule, but maybe they're waiting to announce that. So we'll
Yeah.
wait and see what happens there. But yeah, that it really sucked if the Hell Tour was in like the middle of Illinois, because that would not be ideal. We'd probably get
Adversely affect.
35 late models if we're lucky. We'll get
Yeah.
35.
Yeah. Well, maybe you picked up on something though. That
Yeah,
was the part that had me thinking maybe just maybe you picked up on something.
yeah,
You
because I
know?
looked where they were last year during this, and I was like, oh, they're at I-55 with the Hell Tour.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, the firecrackers that weekend, so I don't think we'll be seeing any Lucas guys.
Yeah.
But
Only so much. Yeah. Well, interesting. That feels like a bit of a stretch for the Hell Tour, but what if?
but the
You
Hell Tour
know?
used to go to Cedar Lake at the same time, and they went to Beaver Dam just 2021 or 22, which is it's south of
Okay.
141, but it's not that far south. So
Okay.
it's not impossible, and it's a 2-day thing, so you're not coming all the way up there for like one day. Also, my dog's
True.
barking. Sorry if you can hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear that. It's
It's
all right.
probably gonna keep barking this whole time.
Yeah,
So
she's saying wrap it up, so I'll go quickly. But I did I keeping in with the theme I talked about before with the media at the Wissota 100. This came out after, but it was killing me. So the weekend dirt date featuring Dennis Zek, and I actually feel like a bonehead that I can't remember the other fella's name. but
Tom. His name was
Tom.
Tom. I don't know his last
name
name,
was
but his first
Tom.
name's Tom.
Tom is better than I was doing. So it's Dennis and Tom. And it's a bit edgier than I had anticipated. But they definitely so it's a bit of a skit comedy racing parody thing. It's on the Wissota auto racing page on Facebook. Go check it out. Do yourself a favor. I assume that's where most of the people follow us and know us from. So, but yeah, I'd go check it out. There are some edgy jokes in there and some ones you wouldn't maybe expect, but it sounds like it's all in good fun and it had me laughing. It definitely had me laughing. So, worth checking out. So I wanted to throw that out there. They were really putting the full court press on for this thing. So I dig it. But anyway, I think that's everything. Do we miss anything, Carter?
I don't think so.
All right. If you're still here, you definitely better hit a like. So, and other than that, we will catch you next week. And as always, we really do appreciate you hanging out. You have no clue. Oh, real quick, this is terrible. It's at the end. I meant to say it way forward, but I do want to say it all the same. Ran into a gentleman by the name of Zach at the 100, and it was funny because I was like just looking at merch, and he's like sitting there eating something, and he kind of sees me, and he's like, "I was just watching you on on my TikTok like 3 minutes ago in the parking lot." And so I introduced myself, and then I had the stickers from the pit walk, but the golfing shorts I was wearing had like pockets down to the knees, so I just made a total clown of myself checking all my cargo pockets looking for the stickers before I found them. So anyway, I wanted to mention that. And then the weekend before, I met Randy and Logan as well at Granite City for the MPH. So I wanted to mention it because the diehards are here, right? So you guys are still here. If you see me, I'll speak for myself. If you see me, please feel free to stop me. It's nice to know that people see our stuff, like, because sometimes we look at our numbers and it's not about numbers, but we look at them and go, are we sure anyone's paying attention to what the hell we're doing? But then you get out there and people do, and that helps us kind of. It's like getting 100 likes on a video is one person stopping it. Actually, it's like 1,000,000 likes on one video for me, because it's nice to just talk to people and have a conversation, right? I'm going long-winded now, Carter, but I'll promise I'll make it quick. This whole thing started with, we wanted to talk about racing with our buddy, right? We wanted to talk with our buddies about racing, and we're like, we think that would make a cool podcast, and we still think it does. But the whole point is we wanted to create a forum where people could talk racing. So like, if you see me, I want to talk racing with you. I promise I do. And I might say something stupid or not totally know the thing you bring up, but then I'm just learning and I'm cool with that too. But like, stop me if you see me, please. I'll have stickers on me, and if I don't, I'll point at Sherry and she'll grab me stickers or whatever. Like, I'll send you with a party gift, honestly though. But it is just super appreciated, and I can't stress enough how much, for me, it means the world to me to know that like people actually do see this stuff and they like what we're doing, because that's what we're trying to entertain people, right, Carter? So it's nice to know we're doing it in small bits and pieces. So I'll leave it there. Now we're done. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right.
See you next weekend.
Goodbye.